Go.
All right, everybody, welcome back to another amazing episode of the Av Files. I'm your host,
Ooh.
Av, and of course, I'm joined by Daniel of Arius and the Nation, the
Hello.
Rec Nation, whatever you want to do to
All
the
all
nation,
the
all of them,
nations I'm part of. Um
all the nations.
it's good to be
Yeah,
back.
he's you're like the UN.
Yeah, that's what it is. That's the only nation I'm not is United. Not that nation. They that's
The United Nations of
yeah, they'll get
Arius.
me for copyright. but um but yes, copyright infringement.
Right.
But no, it's
Oh
good to be back,
man.
man. Good to be back. Good to finally be wrapping this part 2 up. It's always a good day.
Part two of
Yes,
Denise.
Denise. Man, I blame Kirsty for that one. Kirsty was like, "What, Denise?
It's
Who's that?"
Denise. It's Denise Nielsen.
Denise Nilson. Oh man. All right. But no, man, it was
Yeah,
very
man. So
interesting.
what's going on, man?
I'm on the edge of my seat. Nothing really is going on. I'm gonna probably take my son fishing tomorrow, which I'm not a fisherman or person. I don't know why I said emphasis on the I'm not a fisherman. I'm not a fisherman.
Man,
Man, bro.
I'm a fisher person.
I'm a fishing dude. No, so it'll be interesting.
Fishing peoples.
It'll be interesting because
Mhm.
I know absolutely nothing about fish or fish life or salt life, but it'll be interesting to see how that unfolds. I'm expecting chaos. Like part of me is
So
like, what if he's fucking good at it? Like, what if something happens and it clicks and he's just like, salt life, dad, rah, and then it fucking gets the river monster, and
right,
I'm
yeah.
like,
Like now you got to buy a boat.
yeah,
Now
I'm
you
like,
got to
damn
buy.
it, I hate boats.
So I got okay. So what if? So are you going to be the early riser, or are you going to be? What time are you all going?
That's a great question to ask. I think correct, correct, correct. Um, I don't know. I don't know. Apparently, I have to get a fishing license. You cannot fish on the king's land, so you must purchase license before acquiring aquatic specimens. Um,
Yeah, you should be able to go online and get that. I know, I know. I'm sure there's other places you can go, but to Walmart and get it. But yeah, you get it
got it.
online. It's
Yeah.
easier. You can just do it now if you wanted
Oh
to.
yeah.
I
Yeah.
usually go
That's
early in the
exactly what I'm gonna
morning.
do after the podcast. Early in the morning. All right. Well,
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know, and neither does he. He's gonna practice casting, I guess. And
So
I'm just like, what if? What if?
here's another question. Have you talked to him about what time does he want to get up to go fishing?
No, 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 because I don't know the strategy. I don't know. I mean, how much dynamite do you pack? I don't know what the protocols are of fishing. So
how, how many watering holes are you going to go to?
yeah, exactly. I don't know. So that's what I'm saying. It's going to be an adventure, and I'm going to try to
Oh
document the
man,
downfall of my patience.
I
So
honestly I like fishing. I really do. I don't want to say I'm an avid fisherman, um, but yeah, I like to go fishing, and I still don't know what I'm doing, but I like to go out
no,
there and do it anyway.
hey,
Yeah, when I was doing construction, I used to carry a fishing pole on my work truck.
nice,
Yeah,
nice. See, I don't know what the
yeah,
hell I'm
I
doing.
would
I don't know what the hell I'm
I
doing.
would carry a fishing pole. I have like four fishing poles, and I would
Yeah,
carry one in my work truck. Yeah, dude, I got all
that's
kinds of
awesome.
crap for fishing, man. You know, we
That's
even have like
awesome.
an inflatable boat.
What? Like you have like one of
Yeah,
those zodiacs that the Navy
yeah,
SEALs use?
yeah,
I like that. Never
yeah.
can. So there's no reason for you to be afraid of any kind of high water. Just blow that shit up
Mm,
and like we're good to
yeah,
go.
we're good to go. We
Well,
got a boat. Yeah.
I have acquired one Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle fishing rod. So that is the first one.
Well, you got to catch something.
Yep, yep, yep.
Here's another question for you, man. What bait are you using? Oh, just in case anyone's wondering, the Files has turned into Nature Channel.
the, the
And then part
bass
2 is going to be
profiles.
cars. Right, yeah.
And we'll slowly
No, that
start
might get us
wearing more
kicked
and more
off.
camo. More and
Yeah,
more camo. It's
right.
like, but no,
The
the
outdoor
fishing
files.
I the outdoor files, dude. I don't know. It's a little thing that was around the fishing pole, like it was a little hook with the little minnow looking thing. I was like, cool. Is it for bass? Is it for sea urchin? Is it for otters? I have no idea. I don't know what
Go
I'm
catch
looking
sea
at, bro.
monkeys.
Yeah, exactly. So I don't know. You know, it's funny because I had my son in the front yard practicing casting, right?
Mhm.
It's better because it's on a hill, so it looks like it's going way far out there.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
And the neighbor was walking, and he's apparently a fisherman, and
Did
I'm
he
not.
yell
And
something
so
stupid to you?
no, he was like, "Oh, so what are you guys gonna catch? Some sunnies?" I was like, "Of course, man. That's what I fish for. Don't know what a sunny is, but I will."
I think it's
Like,
like a
yeah,
small fish. It's a small
I'm
little
pretty
fish.
sure. I'm pretty sure
Sunfish?
that's a sunfish.
Sunfish. Yeah.
Is that what
Yeah.
it's called? A sunfish, right?
I actually think that is what it's called. It's like a little
Okay,
sunfish,
good.
but they're small. They're like little, but you can
Yeah,
catch them. I thought he was gonna say something clever, as in like, "Huh, catch anything?"
yeah. It turns out he ended up catching my dog because my
Oh,
dog took
right.
the little weight and like ran, and I
Oh,
was like,
nice.
"Reel him in, like, finish it, finish it." It's the cleaning part that gets messy. So, but
Are you
yeah,
gonna keep
no,
any
it's
fish?
hell no, hell no. I haven't even
Catch and
made it to
release.
that. Yeah, it's catch and release. I haven't made it to that level yet.
All right. So here's a quick tip too. Do you have a pair of pliers, like needle nose pliers?
Yeah, I will. From what I know, I will pack my Leatherman. I will
Yeah.
pack that thing, and that'll be
Take
as
a take a
all
knife.
fishermen
Take a
have,
knife
and I'll
with
just
you.
mhm.
Take a knife with
I got
you.
one.
Take
I got the knife.
knife. Don't not the machete.
This thing. I was like a knife. I got it.
That's
Got it.
not a knife. This is a
What's a,
knife.
a knife? My knife.
No, it's just like a pocket knife, man. Something,
All right.
just a pocket knife, a good sized pocket
Reasonable.
knife. Yeah, and then needle nose pliers. Because then if
Okay.
the hook gets in there,
You
sometimes they
got to
move
take it out.
around, and you
Yeah.
gotta use the pliers to pull it out,
Yep.
toss
Got
them
it.
in.
Got it.
You know,
You know, I wouldn't have thought of that.
yeah,
Fishing rod, hooks, good time. I got to get a net. I got to get a net. She probably lives. She probably would want to go too.
yeah, yeah. Oh, she's going with you.
Yeah, a net. Yeah, got to get a net. She would.
We got to pick her up before we go. She's
No,
really gonna have fun.
yeah, 100%. Definitely taking a net, just in
Never bought. You
case.
know what though? Never bought one of those.
Nets.
Mm-hmm.
You just watch the fish just jump off your line.
No, no. What do you mean jump off my line? No, you hook it in, reel it in, grab it,
Oh,
take it off, and
well, I
throw it
guess
back in the
my
water.
my YouTube shorts are different than yours because all I see is like lines and it either snaps or the massive fish gets away and they're like, fuck. And I'm like, I don't want to be that. You know, so I will catch this fish. I've
Watch out
trained
for ticks
tonight.
and
I will what ticks in the
ticks
water.
and Well, I mean, are you going? Are you getting a boat? Or are you going offshore?
We're going offshore.
Yes. Like sometimes they have like tall grass and shit. Yeah, watch out for
True.
ticks and snakes.
And snakes. I get
Yeah.
that. I get that. 100%. Um,
Mm-hmm.
I think what about fishing in the water like fly fishermen do?
You can. I mean, I've done it before, but it depends on where you go.
Okay. Okay.
Depending
Cool.
on where you go.
I know they
Or
stock
sometimes they frown
our
upon it.
they stock our creek with trout.
Oh,
So
do they really?
yeah.
Oh, so you got trout hooks?
Yeah. And it says bass and trout. So I don't know if that's the brand. I don't know if that's what is able to catch.
So the
I'm
trout hooks
assuming
are smaller.
yes, they're tiny.
Okay. Okay. Yeah. Those are for trout.
And I told him once he feels a bite, you fucking yank it and you try to yeet the fish into the
Well,
trees.
Look, yeah. Jeez, the fish, shut the fuck up. No, so what it is if you feel the rod, you feel the line going to the right, pull to the left, yank to the left, pull like go left,
Opposite.
yeah, and like kind of like up to the left.
Okay.
You
You
feel
want
it
to
going to the
set the
left,
hook.
pull like yeah, because you want to set it. But wait till you
Got it.
feel it. And don't do it as soon as you feel it. Let the line go for like 2 seconds.
And
Up and
then,
pull real hard, yeah. And then just
well, I'm
as you pull it in, like pull it down, reel it in, pull up again.
all right. Well, that's it. That's all I need to know.
I mean, it works for me. I'm not again. Don't like leave comments saying like that's not how you fish. Just saying that's how I do it. If you
Well,
do it differently, whatever.
we're gonna be shit out of luck if my son's like, shoot it. I have nothing. I'm just gonna jump in the water
Like,
with my little pocket knife, ready to shank the fish. But
hey, you
but yeah,
might get
man.
it.
No, I'm excited. Yeah, could you imagine? My son just shoot it, whip out a big like 30-06. Done. We did it. Fishing. So easy.
That's how it's done.
Yeah. But anyway, man, what about you? What do you got going on for the rest of the week?
Nothing. Nothing. I had cut the
Yes.
grass the other day, cut the
Man,
grass,
it's
and
always good.
I started my garden. Hopefully it produces.
It
We'll see.
flourishes.
Yeah, we'll wait and see.
Well,
We'll wait and see.
guys, should we tell them what to expect this week coming up on the channel?
So yeah, now that you said that, good segue. Coming up, we will be having little side quest stories for you guys. Probably more than likely they'll be individual.
Mhm.
They'll bring you some. I'll bring you some. Just a little more content for you guys,
Yep.
just to keep you busy, keep you give you a little taste of something before the big
The podcast. Yeah.
before the podcast, before the big one.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, no, it's just and it's honestly like it's just an attempt to try to get our podcast some traction,
yeah.
And we
And if
think,
you
hey,
guys like it, let us know. Just leave comments
please.
down on them and just tell us, hey, we like this
Yeah.
topic. Want to know more about it. We like this format. Tell us if the format's stupid. I don't care. Tell me.
Yeah. Yeah, this is it. We're trying to learn. We've been doing this a year on this channel.
Which is
So,
crazy. Can't
which
believe
is
it's been a
nuts.
year.
It's nuts.
Yeah.
I can't believe it,
I
man.
never thought I'd go to a whole year, honestly.
Well, you never thought you were ever going to be on YouTube.
Yeah, I like my personal life personal. I don't like to be out there.
Well, welcome to the out there, man.
I don't like it when someone asks me like, you want to give us your phone number so we can send you email? No.
Like, get out of my computer.
No. Yeah, no.
Time to throw the computer away.
Yeah.
But yeah, man. No, that's guys, that's what's going to happen. So you'll be seeing that. So just let us know. We definitely need some feedback if we're going to proceed down this route. Just because it's an easier way to like align our schedule.
Add a little more something to the channel too, man.
Yeah.
It's not,
and they're not going to be an hour and a half long, guys. They're just going to be a lot shorter.
These are just like quick little stories. Like I said, they're just like that's why I call them side quests, man. It's just real quick.
Yep.
Just something to do, just something to listen to hide you guys over while we get the big meat and potatoes ready for you.
Yeah, exactly. This is like the
appetizer.
The appetizer. There you go. I was going to make it like a dish reference, and I don't know. This is like the 100% appetizer. So
right.
That's what to look forward to.
Right.
So now we hit the nice.
Wait, are we recording?
Is this live? Is this live or are we recording? I see the red light.
I thought we were practicing.
No. We're not that polished. And are you ready? Anyway. And I'm gonna hit record
right,
now.
Quick. When are you gonna hit the record button?
Yeah, man. So let's do it, man. Let's dive in. We got to finish this up.
So this is part 2 of Denise.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Yep. Part 2. Yeah. So it's crazy, man. I'll just recap. Yeah. So this guy's gay, and he's ashamed of it, and he's been hiding all his little secrets from his friends and family,
Yeah.
and it just gets worse. But it's getting worse.
How many people did he dispose of so far? Like 15 at this point? Like
Oh
it's
man,
it's absolutely crazy.
I didn't keep a count. Man, we should, like I said,
Yeah.
we should have had like a counter,
Yeah.
like on the bottom corner or somewhere. So every time he
Yeah.
chopped somebody up,
I'll
it's like
probably
ding.
watch it back and I'll be like, kill count 15. Hashtag blessed. Or
Yeah, right. Hashtag blast. But hey, guys, if you are enjoying this, please comment. Please comment, like, share, subscribe, all the good stuff.
all the good stuff.
So let's get back into this, Mr. Nielsen. So now at this time, Nielsen has moved. He has now moved to 23 Cranley Gardens. Nielsen has had no access to a garden, and as his resident, as he resided in an attic flat, he was unable to stow any bodies beneath his floorboards. For almost 2 months, any acquaintances Nielsen encountered and lured to his flat were not assaulted in any manner, although he did attempt to strangle a 19-year-old student named Paul on the 23rd of November, 1981, but stopped himself from completing the act. In March 82, Nielsen encountered 23-year-old John Howlett while drinking in a pub near, what is it? Lancaster Square?
Yep.
Howlett was lured to Nielsen's flat on the promise of continuing drinking with Nielsen. There, both Nielsen and Howlett drank as they watched a film before Howlett walked into Nielsen's front room and fell asleep in his bed, which was located in the front of the room at this time. And 1 hour later, Nielsen unsuccessfully attempted to rouse Howlett and sat on the edge of the bed drinking rum as he stared at Howlett before deciding to kill him. Following a ferocious struggle in which Howlett himself attempted to strangle his attacker, Nielsen strangled Howlett into unconsciousness with an upholstery strap before returning to his living room, shaking from the stress of the struggle in which he had believed he would be overpowered. On 3 occasions over the following 10 minutes, Nielsen unsuccessfully attempted to kill this victim after noting he had resumed breathing before deciding to fill his bathtub with water and drown him.
Oh
And
my
for a
God.
week, yeah, right, I know. He really that's like his go-to is like drowning him.
Yeah. Knock him unconscious and then drown him. That's it.
Less of a struggle.
Yeah. Wow.
You know? Right? Less of a struggle. It's
Jesus.
not so noisy by that time. And I think this is the only one that fought back.
And it put up a decent fight, apparently.
Right, put up a decent fight. He had him shook. He was like for 10 minutes, like, oh man, you know, he was a little.
Yeah, well, I mean, at that point, you're too far in. You gotta
finish it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
or else he's gonna run to the cops. So it's like shit.
See, but that's the thing that gets me, man. This happens, and a lot of times they don't say anything to the cops, or they'll go get the cops, and they'll be like, "No, it's fine."
Yeah, the cops are just like, we don't want to touch it. With the cops, I don't know what happened. Like what? I mean, I don't know. Maybe they just didn't think about how serious of a thing this was, and just let it happen. I don't know, man. It's crazy how laissez-faire the cops are in all of this.
Well, I think a lot of times it's the whole gay thing. At that time, you know, cops didn't want to get involved with like, yeah, they thought it was like weird or odd, and I think it made a lot of them uncomfortable.
Yeah, so they're just like, nope, not for me, not worth the paperwork, not ready, worth the detective work, which is crazy,
right?
And this guy's just deleting people left and right.
Right? Yeah. Which I mean, yeah, that's man. They get away with so much stuff, man.
That's crazy.
Yeah. So for over a week, Howlett's murderer, Nielsen's neck actually had his fingerprints impressions on him.
Holy crap!
Yeah, so I guess that's how bad the struggle was. So
Jeez.
he for like the next week or so, he Howlett's fingerprints or finger, you could see his hand on his neck. That's pretty impressive.
Yeah.
So in 82, Nilson encountered Carl Stoddard, a 20-year-old gay man. As the young man drank at the Black Cap pub in Camden, Nilson engaged Stoddard in conversation. discovering he was depressed following a failed relationship. After having a few drinks, Nilson invited Sutter back to his flat, assuring his guests he had no intention of sexual activity at the flat. Sutter Nilson continued to drink before falling asleep upon an open sleeping bag. He later awoke to find himself being strangled with Nilson loudly whispering, "Stay still."
What the shit?
How do you how do you loudly whisper?
Yeah. I. Uh, so this guy's in the attic, right? What the hell is
Yeah,
going on with this? Like, his
below him.
neighbors, or well, though. Then again, that's the same shit over here. Same shit over here. Like,
Hmm.
it takes continuous racket for the neighbors to complain.
Right,
And
and I think too. You've seen pictures of Nilson. You know, he's kind of odd looking, so I'm sure people probably
yeah, they're
didn't
like,
want to
let's,
bother with
yeah,
him. You know, he's probably like really strange looking, and they're probably like, I don't want
like
to
it's
talk
not
to him.
worth it.
Yeah, they're probably like, whatever.
Yep.
So in his subsequent testimony at Nielsen's trial, Stoddard stated he initially believed Nielsen was trying to free him from the zip of the sleeping bag before he returned to a state of unconsciousness. He then vaguely recalled hearing water running before realizing he was immersed in the water and that Nielsen was attempting to drown him. After briefly succeeding in raising his head above the water, Stoddard gasped the word, "No more, please, no more," before Nielsen again submerged Stoddard's head beneath the water. Believing he had killed Stoddard, Nielsen seated the youth in his armchair, then noticed his dog licking Stoddard's face. Nielsen realized he was still barely alive. He rubbed Stoddard's limbs and heart to increase circulation, covered the youth's body in blankets, then laid him upon his bed. When he regained consciousness, Nielsen embraced him. He then explained to Stoddard he had almost strangled himself on the zip of the sleeping bag and that he had resuscitated him.
What?
That's yeah, that sounds really
What?
like out there.
So okay, so he is getting sloppy. He's getting sloppy. He is
He's
his
not well,
routine
I
is,
think too he's not very strong.
but man,
You
like,
know what I mean?
yeah,
So that's like someone trying to strangle you like almost like right away as you're sleeping, you're probably going to give up a fight.
yeah,
Coming behind you and then, it's probably easier
out of
for him.
nowhere, yeah,
Right, yeah,
but
out of nowhere. Or especially like if you're drunk,
very true, very
right?
true. Yep,
Yeah. You have more sips of that moonshine, better be careful.
hell yeah. Mm. So he survived. You said the trial. So this man,
Yeah. So he
okay,
made it out of there, right?
hmm,
So the following 2 days, Stoddard repeatedly lapsed in and out of consciousness. When Stoddard had regained enough strength to question Nielsen as to his recollections of being strangled and immersed in cold water, Nielsen explained he had become caught in the zip of the sleeping bag following a nightmare, and they had placed him in cold water as "you were in shock," is what Nielsen said. Nielsen then led Stoddard to a nearby railway station where he informed the young man he hoped they might meet again before saying bye to each other. That's weird.
that's psychotic, bro. That's like
Yeah,
next level.
yeah. He like made up this big elaborate lie, and I don't know. Just to me I couldn't. I don't
No,
know how people fall for it.
nope, nope, no, because there's no way this guy was gonna kill him. You know what I mean? That's like not your thought,
Right.
because you wouldn't go home with a straight up serial killer. People know better.
Yeah. I think back then people were a little more trusting,
Yeah, true.
and probably
Before
more in the
this
gay
guy, yeah,
community. You know.
probably, since it's more like exclusive, and also you kind of have to be sort of on your p's and q's on like what's happening. You don't want to get outed, because I don't know if was that seen as a crime then. I'm not
Taboo.
sure. Definitely taboo by the vast
I
majority.
think it was. I think it was a crime.
Yeah, so
I
then
think.
there's
I'm not
that.
100% sure. Right. I'm not 100% sure. I don't want to say like, yeah, that's true, but I
I
think it was.
I know at some point in this country it was a crime to be gay,
Mhm.
right? And so
Yeah.
I don't know about over there across the pond, but yeah, definitely more trusting possibly in that community.
Yeah.
At least for
I
the
mean,
time
because you
being until this came out.
right, but I mean, you had like, because you only had because you're it's a small community, and who else? You're not gonna like, um, you don't want them to be like look bad. You know what I mean?
Yeah, very true. Yep. So,
I don't know what the fuck I'm
that's
saying. So,
interesting. No, that's all right. So on to the next one. Or are we still talking
anyway,
about the court date?
no. Well, I think we're on to the next one because he went away. He walked away. He's set free. 3 months after Nilson June 1982 promotion to the position of executive officer in his employment, he encountered a 27-year-old named Graham Allen attempting to hail a taxi in Shaftesbury Avenue. Allen accepted Nilson's offer to accompany him to Cranley Gardens for a meal, as had been the case with several previous victims. Nilson stated he could not recall the precise moment he had strangled Allen, but recalled approaching him as he sat eating an omelet with the full intention of murdering him. Allen's body was retained in the bathtub for a total of 3 days before Nilson began the task of dismembering his body upon the kitchen floor. Nilson is again known to have informed his employers he was ill and unable to attend work on October 9th, 1982, likely in order that he could complete the dismemberment of Allen's body. So he wasn't at work, but he was working. And on January 26, 1983, Nilson killed his final victim, 20-year-old Stephen Sinclair. Sinclair was last seen by acquaintances in the company of Nilson walking in the direction of the subway. At Nilson's flat, Sinclair fell asleep in a drug and alcohol-induced stupor in an armchair as Nilson sat listening to the rock opera Tommy. See, that's what it is, man. They trust each other. They go, they do a bunch of drugs. He gets them to do a bunch of drugs and definitely has them drink and can just come up and
Yeah.
kill them.
Yeah.
Easy. It's easy prey.
Yeah. That's pretty much what it is. It's like I have I have drinks, I have drugs in my house. Come to me. And of course, you're like free drink, free drug, I'm there.
Well, yeah, because he does do that a lot where he'll pick people up and promise them like, hey, we'll just go to my place. We'll listen to some music. We'll have
Drink
some drinks.
and
Yeah,
yeah.
we'll have drinks. Some drinks on me, man. I mean, and I think most people will be like, hey, yeah, we'll go to my house and have drinks. But like, all right,
Yeah.
let's go.
Yeah. That's a normal response.
Yeah,
But I mean, probably this is the time when that shit started changing.
probably. I
When people
mean,
started noting that not a lot of people are frequenting the bars they used to.
right. So Nielsen approached Sinclair, knelt before him, and said to himself, "Oh, Stephen, here I go again." Before strangling Sinclair with a ligature constructed with a necktie and rope. Nielsen noticed bandages upon each of Sinclair's wrists. Nielsen removed these to discover several deep slash marks from where Sinclair had recently tried to kill himself. Oh man, so Sinclair tried to kill himself, and Nielsen actually did it.
Wow.
Yeah. Following his unusual ritual of bathing the body, Nielsen laid Sinclair's body upon his bed, applied talcum powder to the body, then arranged 3 mirrors around the bed before himself laying naked alongside the dead man. Several hours later, he turned Stephen's head towards him before kissing his body on the forehead and saying, "Good night, Stephen." Nielsen then fell asleep alongside the body. Um, as had been the case with both Howlett and Allen, Sinclair's body was subsequently dismembered, with various parts wrapped in plastic bags and stored in either a wardrobe, a tea chest, or within a drawer located beneath the bathtub.
Wow.
Yeah, he puts in a lot of work.
Yeah. So what do you oh my god. Okay. Okay, cool. Jesus. That's just how do you keep that organized? Like absolutely crazy. how do you dispose of that many? I feel like that wasn't thought through. And I know we're like, what is wrong with you? Well, a lot of things are wrong with him, but uh, but that doesn't add up to me. Like, how were you supposed to? How are you supposed to get rid of the body since you don't have a fire pit or bonfire
Right? Yeah,
pit
he
out
doesn't have
back?
a. And I think so. I'm thinking like he, as probably most serial killers, have like once they do it, it's like, oh man, now I got like I want to kill again. I want to do it again.
Yeah.
But he probably didn't think it through as in, okay, now what do I do with all these bodies that I'm starting to pile up? Again, I can't burn them anywhere. There's nowhere to put them.
Yep.
So
You
the
can't go
bags
back to the
used to
old place.
seal.
Go back to the old
No,
place and
yeah,
burn some
he
tires.
can't like he can't like
Hey,
knock on the door and say, "Hey, can I get back there, please?"
yeah, I have some old tires. That I need to burn.
Let me just burn them real quick. They're in these plastic bags.
And then I'm like, what about the neighbors? Like, okay, I don't know about you, but when you burn a tire, there's a ton of black smoke. Like, wouldn't that just be
I
a
well,
freaking smoke signal?
well, yeah, but I want to assume that at that time people probably burnt tires regularly, not
So,
regularly like
like,
all the time, but like it was common practice. Like it's been like people do it every once in a while. Like, what are we gonna do with these towels? I'll just burn them. Yeah, I mean, yeah, it's just a bunch of black smoke just going in the air.
yeah,
You
yeah. I'm
know,
like, dude, so at
didn't you see
some
Black
point,
Hawk Down?
yeah, that's what I was thinking. That's exactly what I was thinking. So at some point, his town looked
Yeah,
like fucking Somalia. Like,
yeah. He's
like,
everyone's
what the
trying to get
hell?
out.
That's what
Yeah,
I call a Somalian campfire. Is if as long as you have some
tires.
tires,
They don't have wood; they have
just
tires.
tires. Jesus.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
I did, man. One of my old when I was younger, one of our old neighbors, he he fucking did that. He took like I forget how many it was. I think it was like 3 tires. He would build a fire in his backyard and he threw these tires on there. And he didn't, I guess he didn't realize how thick this smoke was gonna be. All of a sudden they went up and there's just like black smoke, just a big old just bunch of black smoke. Man, you should have heard the fire engines because they thought it was like a house fire.
Yeah.
They thought
Yeah.
like a
That's
house was on fire.
yeah.
And man, it was so funny because there was like 4 or 5 firefighters jumping over the fences, like trying to find out where the smoke was coming from.
I couldn't
And they come
imagine.
by, they're like, "You fucking idiot! We'll burn tires."
Yeah, that's what I thought. I was like, isn't it like illegal to burn tires?
Yeah,
Like it
yeah, I
has
think
to
it's
be. I mean, it's not. It's definitely if it's not illegal, it's definitely frowned upon.
it's
Like
definitely frowned upon. Yeah, I think
definitely
you're gonna
frowned
get
upon.
a little fine. Yeah, you have to
Yeah,
pay
by
somebody for that.
someone. It's either going to be PETA, the government, or some World Health
Or
Organization is going to
all
come.
three.
Yeah, yeah. It's just going to fine you. So anyway, that's just an interesting tidbit. I was like, okay, you just burn tires. I know. I know that tires do burn really hot because it's made of
Oh yeah,
rubber, and they burn
yeah.
super hot, and they're actually ridiculously good fuel. For fires. So
Yeah, yeah.
yeah. So, yeah, man, that's interesting. So, okay, he has no way to dispose of the
None.
bodies,
Yeah. So I mean, yeah, all he's doing is just cutting them up and
and storing them.
putting. Yeah. I can't imagine how people do this. I can't. I can't do it.
Mm.
Like I'm not queasy around blood so much, but like stuff like that, like there's no way I could. No.
No, no,
But then
because
again,
it's
I'm not a
starting to
serial killer.
rot. Yeah, then again, exactly.
Right.
Yeah,
I'd be
we
like,
can't
huh,
we
doesn't seem so
can't
bad.
imagine shit like this because we're normal. So, well, somewhat normal. You know what I mean? We're
Right.
not doing this shit.
No,
But
we're not going outside like, yeah, we're not doing that. So anyway, so the bags used to seal Sinclair's remains were sealed with the same type of bandages Nilson had found upon Sinclair's wrists. Nilson attempted to dispose of the flesh internal organs, and smaller bones of all three victims killed at Granley Gardens by flushing their remains down his toilet, in a practice which he had conducted upon several victims killed at his previous house, Melrose Avenue. He also boiled the heads, hands, and feet to remove the flesh of those sections of the victims'
Oh,
bodies. Yeah, right. Yeah. Oh, could you imagine what the house smells like? Oh, God, man. It's
like
got to be
what, bro?
just a terrible fucking smell, man. Jesus Christ. I
Dude.
couldn't. I couldn't do it.
Mm-mm.
No. I think it just yeah, I don't know. Yeah. I don't know what they're thinking about. Anyway, so on February 4th, 1983, Nilson wrote a letter of complaint to estate agents complaining that the drains at Cranley Gardens were blocked and that the situation for both himself and other tenants at the property was intolerable. Yeah, but it's all your fault,
Yeah,
man.
man.
The following day, yeah, he refused to allow any acquaintances to enter his property. The reason being he had begun to dismember Sinclair's body on the floor of his kitchen. Nilson's murders were first discovered by a dino rod employee who's a plumber. I guess it's a company over there. Um, his name was Michael, who responded to the plumbing complaints made by both Nilson and other tenants at Cranley Gardens on February 8th, 1983. So Nilson basically told on
Yeah.
himself.
Well, I mean, eventually
I guess he was.
he was going to be told on. You know what I mean? Like, because if this man affected all the plumbing, yeah, he was eventually going to be found out.
Right, but I think also he was like trying to shove all this stuff. He's dumb. He was trying to shove all this stuff down the drains, and he's clogging it up. And I guess he figured like nobody's gonna know what it actually
Yeah.
is, so he's trying to call a plumber to like save his ass. But he's an idiot. Opening a drain cover at the side of the house, Michael discovered the drain was packed with a flesh-like substance and numerous small bones of an unknown origin. The plumber reported his suspicions to his supervisor, Gary Wheeler. As Michael had arrived at the property at dusk, he and Wheeler agreed to postpone further investigation into the blockage until the following morning. Prior to leaving the property, Nilson and a fellow tenant, Jim Alcock, talked with Michael to discuss the source of the substance. Upon hearing Michael exclaiming how similar the substance was in appearance to human flesh, Nilson replied, "It looks to me like someone has been flushing down their Kentucky Fried Chicken."
Okay.
That's what he said. So he's trying to get out of it using a stupid excuse, saying that it looks like KFC. So at 7:30 in the morning, the following day, the plumbers returned to Cranley Gardens, by which time the drain had been cleared, and this aroused suspicion of both men. The plumbers discovered some scraps of flesh and 4 bones in a pipe leading from the drain, which linked to the top flat of the house. To both Cran and Wheeler, the bones looked as if they originated from a human hand. Both men immediately called the police, who, upon closer inspection, discovered further small bones and scraps of what looked to the naked eye like either human or animal flesh in the same pipe. These remains were taken to the mortuary, where the pathologist, David Bowen, advised police that the remains were in fact human, and that one particular piece of flesh he concluded had been from a human neck bore a ligature mark.
Wow.
Man. Yeah, I screwed that up. But anyway,
Stuck the landing.
I guess
Man. So basically, the piece of flesh had a bruise.
Yes. Basically, yeah. Why didn't you say that? So the neck bore a bruise on it.
Got it.
Got it. All right. I hope everyone else is still with us.
Ligature? That's a little mushroom, right?
Ligature.
I know. Got it.
It's a look. Anyway,
that blows my mind, though. Like that. So man, he was he was getting in trouble anyway. He was like this was the end time for him. So
yeah, this is when everything is like closing in on him, but like super fast,
like within
super fast.
hours.
Because he like, oh yeah, this was like happening. Like, you know, I mean, one day, you know, they come out, the plumbers come out, and they see the everything. It looks a mess. They can kind of tell that looks like flesh and there's bones and that don't look like normal bones is like are in the pipes and everything. And the next day they come out and it's all cleared out, cleaned up. So they're like, wait a minute, there's something very suspicious. Who's going to do this? Call the cops. The cops come by. I mean,
and they traced it up to his apartment, right?
The walls just closing.
They traced that.
Well, yeah. Well, they can tell that it's coming down from the other apartment because I'm sure, yeah, because it's like the other apartment's pipes probably don't look like that or don't have these, you know, stuff in them. So yeah, I mean the walls are closing in on him like quick, and he can feel it.
So then, hear me out. If you're already unhinged, and you have already serial killed everyone that you're going to kill, why not burn the whole fucking thing down? Like, why not burn the building down? Like, see, like if you're going to go out, take some tires, take some things, make it so uncontrollable that the fire brigade is not going to be able to come in and put it out easily. And hopefully that shit burns to the ground and then everyone's shit's mixed in.
Well, I mean, probably wouldn't have been a bad idea, but
yeah, like because you're done.
Think he was, but at the same time, I don't think he was a pyro. You know, that's like a something a pyro.
You don't have to be if the walls are closing in. Like that's
like desperation.
Yeah, just leave, burn your shit to the ground, and never come back. Change your name, go to the next town. You know,
right? Yeah. I mean, I don't know. I mean, that's not a. I mean, I guess if he was going to do that, it probably wasn't a bad idea, but still, like. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know why he didn't do that. He probably didn't. Obviously, he didn't think about it.
Yeah,
or maybe that's not like part of the thrill. That's not the thrill for him. You know, thrills to get some guy up there and get him drunk, do whatever, kill him,
chop him up,
and you know, yeah, all that crazy stuff. So, upon learning from fellow tenants that the top floor of the flat from where the human remains had been flushed belonged to Nilson, Detective Chief Inspector Peter J. and two colleagues opted to wait outside the house until Nilson returned home from work. When Nilson had returned home, the Detective Chief Inspector J introduced himself and his colleagues, explaining they had come to inquire about the blockage in the drains from his flat. Nilson asked why the police were interested in his drains and also whether or not the two officers present with Jay were health inspectors. In response, Jay informed Nilson that the other two were also police officers and requested access to his flat to discuss the matter further. The three officers followed Nilson into his flat where they immediately noted the odor of rotting flesh. And it's like my thing too. It's how do you not smell that living in the same apartment?
Yeah.
In the same building, you know?
Well, remember this though. Buildings in the UK are built a lot different than our apartment buildings over here, or our buildings here. They actually have concrete walls. They're not drywall, they're not 2x4s. It's not, it's completely different. They're looking at your apartment is basically a concrete cave. Right, there's no, and it's all insulated. It all depends on how tight that seal is on the front door, and if you keep your windows closed, no smell is probably going to get through a concrete wall. So that's something. It's not like the liquid and shit could seep through the floorboards because they're not boards; it's concrete. That's something I didn't think about in the last episode. Is that yeah.
No, that's interesting. I didn't know that. Honestly, I did not know that.
Yeah.
So yeah, because I'm thinking like, man, how do they not smell that?
Oh yeah.
Well, because everyone
over here. Over here, that'd be instant, bro. That'd be instant.
Oh, they'd probably be able to smell it from outside.
Yep.
So Nielsen questioned further as to why the police were interested in his drains, to which he was informed the blockage had been caused by human remains. At first, Nielsen reacted in shock. What? Me? And
Crazy.
bewilderment, stating, oh, good grief, how awful. I can't do an English accent, so
Yeah.
otherwise I'd do it.
Yeah.
But that
No,
was
of
my best.
course.
That was my best. Sorry. So in response, Jay replied, don't mess about. Where's the rest of the body? Again, I can't do an English accent, so it probably would have
No,
been
that was
funny.
good enough though. Where's the rest of the body?
Where's the rest of the body? You don't you
You
mess around
lad.
here, you little. What do they call idiots over there?
Scallywag. I don't know.
Oh, okay. Oh, well, I mean, sounds good. Hey, listen here, you little scallywag. Where's the rest of the body? Body.
That's terrible.
That's
That's
terrible.
awesome.
Sorry. Yeah, please don't hate me. So Niels responded calmly, admitting that the remainder of the body could be found in 2 plastic bags in a nearby wardrobe, from which the detective, Jay, and his colleagues noted the overpowering smell of decomposition was coming from. The officers did not open the cupboard, but asked Nielsen whether there were any other body parts to be found, to which Nielsen replied,
Yep.
it's a long story. It goes back a long time. I'll tell you everything. I want to get it off my chest. But not here, at the police station. Take me away, coppers.
Yeah.
So,
I like that. It's like, are there any other bodies? Ooh, these are all in this one. Like, it's like the ones I have right now or the ones from before, and then like, oh,
they're like, oh, shit.
oh shit.
We have a slight problem here. It's
Yeah.
like, just take me.
Yeah. I want to talk about it at the police station.
Yeah.
All right.
So he was then arrested on suspicion of murder. Of course, it's suspicion of murder first,
Yeah.
before being taken to the police station. While en route to the station, Nielsen was asked whether the remains in his flat belonged to one person or two. Staring out the window of the police car, he replied, 15 or 16 since 1978. That evening, the detective superintendent Chambers accompanied Jay and Bowen to Cranley Gardens, where the plastic bags were removed from the wardrobe and taken to the mortuary. One bag was found to contain 2 dismembered torsos, one of which had been vertically dismembered, and a shopping bag containing a various internal organs. The second bag contained a human skull almost completely devoured of flesh, a severed head, and a torso with arms attached but hands missing. Both heads were found to have been subjected to moist heat. I don't know what that means. I guess
Boiled.
maybe.
Boiled.
Ah, okay. Why the fuck didn't you say that? So it's boiled. Moist heat. Sounds
Moist
gross.
heat. Yeah, that's weird. That's
Mm.
weird. Do I use that for describing the humidity in Maryland now? We experienced lots of moist
Moist
heat in
heat
this.
today.
Oh, oh
Tell your
God.
wife, excuse me, honey, can you
Yeah,
can you give me some moist heat?
yeah. This is it's kind of what is the moist heat index today?
Index
What?
today.
Yeah, the what? Yeah, it's very,
Oh my
very,
god.
very. Watch out for the moist heat in Maryland,
Watch out
guys.
for the moist heat today. It's going to be pretty bad.
Nope. Jesus.
So, in an interview, Nielsen confessed to more human remains stowed in a tea chest in his living room, with other remains inside an upturned drawer in his bathroom. The dismembered body parts were the bodies of 3 men, all of whom he had killed by strangulation, usually with a necktie. One victim he could not name, another he knew only as John the Gardens Man, and the third he identified as Stephen Sinclair. He also stated that beginning in December 1978, he had killed 12 or 13 men at his former address at 195 Melrose Avenue. Nielsen also admitted to having unsuccessfully attempted to kill approximately 7 other people
Whoa.
who had either escaped or, on one occasion, had been at the brink of death, but he had been revived and allowed to leave his residence. Wow, man, he's
Dad.
got man.
Who? So wait. So okay, can you run those numbers back? So what is? So he had 7 escaped, 7 misses, right?
Hold on, wait. So 78, he had killed 12 or 13. And this man having unsuccessfully killed approximately, yeah, seven others who he didn't kill
And so
just by
then
chance.
this new place he got. How many people did he collect on the
Mm,
new in the new place? Like 5.
like I think it was like 5. Was it 5? I think it was 5. Yeah, I have to go back and like count them all. He got a good amount.
Like
He got a good amount.
17 ish is
Yeah,
what I'm thinking of. But
sounds
7,
about
that's
right.
nuts.
Yeah,
7 are lucky out of 17. That's crazy.
yeah.
I think it's more.
Well,
I think he got more, but yeah.
oh, I'm
That's
sure he probably, you know, I mean, he really
yeah.
like he didn't really he didn't seem to take like any cooling off period, because
No.
some serial killers take years off. He didn't. He just kept going.
Yeah. He like hit a stride and that was it.
Yeah,
It's like he had his
yeah,
own internal quota. And this whole
yeah.
time he was just Dennis from accounting, like
Well,
who
I
took
mean,
some random days off. It's nuts.
yeah, pretty much. But he wanted that companionship. He wanted a relationship. He didn't want those people to leave him, which is weird
Jesus.
because I think I've heard of like serial killers doing that too. Like they don't want. I guess they felt like now they have a piece of this person with them forever.
Yeah.
You know.
Dude,
Yeah,
that's
it's
Jesus.
crazy. So a further search of additional remains at Crane Gardens on February 10th revealed the lower section of a torso and 2 legs stowed in a bag in the bathroom, a skull, a section of a torso, and various bones in a tea chest. The same day, Nilson accompanied police to Melrose Avenue, where he indicated the 3 locations in the rear garden where he had burned the remains of his victims. Uh, So they had contacted the Daily Mirror on February 10th, which is I guess like I
Yeah.
don't want to say I'm not even sure if that's like a tabloid newspaper or if it's like
It,
one of those like
I think it would be like
like the
the
Gazette or something like
yeah, the
that, like a
Gazette.
local paper, but I don't know if it was like a tabloid or something like that. But they had contacted the Daily Mirror. Informing the newspaper of the ongoing search for human remains at Cranley Gardens, leading the newspaper to break the story and spark intense national media interest. By February 11th, reports from the Mirror had obtained photographs from Nilson's mother, which appeared on the front page the following day. Under English law, the police had 48 hours in which to charge Nilson or they had to release him. Assembling the remains of the victims killed at Cranley Gardens on the floor of the mortuary, Professor Bowen was able to confirm the fingerprints on one body matched those on police files of Sinclair. At 5:40 p.m. on February 11th, Nilson was charged with Sinclair's murder and a statement revealing this was released to the press. Formal questioning of Nilson began the same evening, with Nilson agreeing to be represented by, I guess, what is it called?
Like a defense lawyer,
Yeah,
right?
something like that. Yeah. Police interviewed Nilson on 16 separate occasions over the following days in interviews which totaled over 30 hours.
Jesus.
Because I guess they go through like detail of like
Dude, could you
everything that's
imagine? Could you imagine being those police and like once he was like, "Oh yeah, there's some in the dresser, there's some under the tub," and you're like, "Oh no, no, no!" You're like, "Holy shit!" Like
yeah, man.
that's not what you want to hear. Like one body is crazy enough,
There's a
but you're
lot.
like,
There's a lot. Yeah.
now I gotta go fucking find the jigsaw puzzle
Yeah, because
of
I
body
mean that's got
parts.
to be pretty crazy as a homicide detective.
Oh my god, dude!
When you're like, okay, so you killed this guy. Yeah. So is there anything else you want to tell us? Yeah, so you're gonna find a couple heads over there in the bathroom.
And you're
Check
just
under
like,
my bed. There might be some feet, and in the cupboard over there, I think there might be a torso too, and probably some arms.
and you're
And they're
like,
probably like, "Whoa, we
oh,
have a situation."
we have a fucking monster.
Yeah.
Jeez.
So
Oh man.
Nielsen uh, admitted that he was uncertain as to why he had killed, simply saying, "I'm hoping you will tell me. I'm hoping you will tell me that." So basically, he was like, "I don't know why I did this. I'm hoping you guys can give me answers as to why I was doing this stuff." When asked his motives for the murders, he was adamant that the decision to kill was not made until moments before the act of murder. Most victims had died by strangulation. On several occasions, he had drowned the victims once they had been strangled into unconsciousness. Once the victim had been killed, he typically bathed the victim's body, shaved any hair from the torso to conform it to his physical ideal, then applied makeup to any obvious blemishes upon the skin. The body was usually dressed in socks and underpants before Nielsen draped the victims around him as he liked to talk to the corpse. With most victims, Nielsen pleasured himself as he stood alongside or knelt above the body, and Nielsen confessed to having occasionally engaged in.
Oh no. Got it.
Well, okay, so it there was like I don't know. Can I say penetrated?
I'm not sure. Now you did. Well, there you go. There you go.
Well,
We're out here now.
yeah. So we're gonna go on this one. So there was no penetration.
Okay.
He just, uh, I don't know. I guess he
Got it.
basically he dry humped.
Yeah. So it's like neck, like what is it? Oh my god. Necrophilia, right? None of
Yeah.
that. Nothing like that. Nothing
Well, I
like
mean, not. Well, I
not
mean, he. I guess in a way, it kind of was
kind of
because he was
was.
still like, yeah. I mean, I
Yeah.
guess. I mean, I'm
I
not
don't know,
into
man.
it,
That's
so
weird. Yeah.
yeah. I'm like,
Jesus
no,
Christ.
is it?
Jesus
But
Christ. All right.
is it?
Yeah. Let's use the shovel to get out of this hole.
Yeah.
But yeah, got it.
Yeah. Let's stop digging this hole, will we? Um.
Yeah.
So anyway, but repeatedly stressed to investigators he had never actually penetrated his victims. That's what I said. Explaining that his victims were too perfect and beautiful for the pathetic ritual of compliant sex. All the victims' personal possessions were destroyed following the ritual of bathing their bodies in an effort to obliterate their identity prior to their murder, and they are now becoming what Nielsen described as a prop in his fantasies. In several instances, he talked to the victims' bodies as it remained seated in a chair or prone on his bed. And he recalled being emotional as he marveled at the beauty of their bodies, with references to one victim, Kenneth. Nielsen noted that Kenneth's body and skin were very beautiful, adding the sight almost brought me to tears. Ugh.
Oh my god.
Yeah, another unidentified victim had been so emaciated that he had simply been discarded under the floorboards. Nielsen confirmed that on 4 occasions he had removed the accumulated bodies from beneath his floorboards and dismembered the remains. And on 3 of these occasions, he had then disposed of the accumulated remains upon another bonfire. Okay, this is just what he's like telling the
Got it.
detectives. On more than one occasion, he had removed the internal organs from the victims' bodies and placed them in bags, which he then typically um, dumped behind a fence to be eaten by wildlife. All the bodies of the victims killed at Melrose Avenue were dismembered after several weeks or months of interment beneath the floorboards. That's kind of messed up.
Jesus.
Yeah, he would just like throw them over the fence and let the animals just get to him. But I
Oh
mean,
the
still,
oh
wouldn't that smell like when people smell? I
like
mean,
yeah. I don't know, man. See, that's the thing. I
yeah,
I don't know, dude.
yeah, it's crazy. So Nielsen recalled that the putrefaction of these victims' bodies made this task exceedingly vile. He recalled having to fortify his nerves with whiskey and having to grab handfuls of salt with which to brush aside maggots from the remains. Often he would get sick as he dismembered the bodies before wrapping the dismembered limbs inside plastic bags and carrying the remains to the bonfire. Nonetheless, immediately prior to his dismembering of the victim's body, Nilson would pleasure himself as he knelt alongside the corpse or alongside a corpse. This, he stated, was his symbolic gesture of saying goodbye to his victims. That's nice. When questioned as to whether he had any remorse for his crimes, Nilson replied, I wish I could stop, but I couldn't. I had no other thrill or happiness. He also emphasized that he took no pleasure from the act of killing, but worshiped the art and the act of death. He's very morbid.
God.
So Nilson was brought to trial on October 24th, 1983, charged with 6 counts of murder and 2 of attempted murder. He was tried at the Old Bailey before Mr. Justice Croom Johnson and pleaded not guilty on all charges. Following the closing arguments of both prosecution and defense, the jury retired to consider their verdict on November 3rd, 1983. The following day, the jury returned with a majority verdict of guilty upon 6 counts of murder and 1 of attempted murder, with a unanimous verdict of guilty in relation to the attempted murder of Nobbs. The judge sentenced Nilson to life imprisonment with a recommendation that he serve a minimum of 25 years. In December of 1983, while in prison, Nilson was cut on the face and chest with a razor blade by an inmate named Albert Moffett, resulting in injuries requiring 89 stitches. Afterward, he was briefly transferred, and he was briefly transferred to one prison, then transferred to another prison in Wakefield, where he remained until 1990. And in 1991, Nilson was transferred to a vulnerable prisoner unit at Full Sutton upon concerns for his safety. He remained there until 93, when he was transferred to Whitemoor, again as a category A prisoner, I guess, for his safety and with increased segregation from other inmates. The minimum term of 25 years imprisonment to which Nilson was sentenced to in 1983 was replaced by a whole life sentence by Home Security Michael Howard in December of 1994. The ruling effectively ensured Nilson would never be released from prison, and punishment he accepted and declined to appeal against. In 2003, he broke out of prison. No, I'm just kidding.
What?
No,
I was like, what? Twist!
Right. What? In 2003, Nilson was again transferred to Full Sutton, where he remained incarcerated as a Category A prisoner in the prison workshop. Nilson translated books into Braille. Wow.
Okay.
He translated them into Braille. He spent much of his free time reading and writing, and was allowed to paint and compose music upon a keyboard. He also exchanged letters with numerous people who sought his correspondence, and Nilson remained at Full Sutton until his death on May 12th, 2018.
Wow.
And that, my friends, is the end of Mr. Dennis Nilson and this story.
Man. He got charged with only 6 counts?
I guess because they couldn't prove that the other ones were
him.
Yeah, were him. Like the stuff at the floor drain. I mean, when you got the bodies in your house, it's kind of like you, but like all the other stuff, like
it's like hearsay. They can't really prove it.
Yeah. Even though he admits to it, it's like, well, we can't really prove that you did it. You're just saying it. Are you just saying it?
Yeah.
Because a lot of times they say that serial killers or murderers do kind of like
embellish.
Yeah. Kind of like when people are like, oh yeah, I had sex with like 50 women, and it's really like they've only had sex with like 2 people.
Yeah. Got it. Okay. Well,
Something
I mean, that's nuts, man. The fact that he could have been put away a lot sooner. The fact that like the people that escaped didn't go to the cops. The people that escaped that went to the cops and the cops did nothing.
It's crazy, man. It's
They
crazy.
could have saved at least 17 people.
Yeah, 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 definitely,
So
man. But
that's
well, thank
wild, man.
goodness he's
Yeah.
no longer around, and he's where he belongs.
That's crazy. So yeah, always talk to the guys in accounting. You know,
Just be
always
nice.
just be nice. Just be
Just
nice.
be nice.
Holy crap, man.
Yeah.
That's wild. What a story, dude. That's
Crazy
creepy as
stuff, man.
fuck, man.
Crazy stuff. Yeah. Don't trust
People,
anybody, guys.
yeah, people are just they can just unhinge, man. And unhinged person is the most terrifying kind of fucking person out there.
Yeah. Well, I mean, he didn't just snap. He was weird to begin
He
with.
was just broken. He wasn't
Yeah,
just
whatever it
from. He
was.
was
I
like he
mean,
wasn't from here. His shit
yeah,
wasn't
he did
clicking
have like
normally.
kind of a messed up childhood, so and I guess it really messed him up because his grandfather was the only one that really paid him any attention, and he felt the love from his grandfather, and then when he passed away, you know, that probably
Yeah,
broke
but
him.
still, like you don't go on a murder spree. That's crazy.
Yeah, no, I mean, no normal sane person would do that, but
And he said that they got his picture from his parents. So his parents are like, oh,
well, his mom, his
damn.
dad, I don't think was around
Oh,
anymore.
okay. His mom just
It's
like
just his mom. Yeah, his mom, like,
shit, man.
and then yeah, and
Ah,
then it just like blew up. This story just like took off, and
man.
they had him.
That's nuts. That's nuts. I mean, but hey, you know what? I was looking. I was looking for how to how to spell this man's name correctly, and I went on to Britain's or no, I said the UK's top serial killers.
Uh,
And this man right here that we just covered is very low at the bottom, like of
oh,
the top. So I'm like, holy crap. You got
mm-hmm.
some explaining to do, guys. Because that is a I think a fairly impressive body count. That's
Yeah.
very crazy. So if there's crazier than that, like yeah, we'll be back on this topic pretty soon again. Like
Yeah. So I mean, hey guys, if you enjoyed this, let us know. We did put up that poll. Check it out. Let us know. And again, hey, we are gonna come up with some more stuff. We're gonna have some little short side quest stories for you guys, and let us know if you like them. If you want to hear more details about the story, we can always go in more depth about them a little bit. So
it'll be good. It'll fill your week. It'll fill your week,
yeah.
and it'll
Again,
help
like
you
appetizer.
get to the pod. It'll help you get to the podcast.
Yeah, yeah. And while you're at it, bring some friends along with you. Maybe they might want to hear it.
Share it in the office.
Yeah,
Share it in
just
the office.
when you're in the office, just turn it on and just turn the volume up all the way.
Yeah. Hey guys, isn't the weather beautiful? By the way, since we're talking about the weather, have you checked out the ad files? Perfect segue.
Yeah, why not?
Yes. Do you like boating in 90s movies references?
I know and guinea pigs.
And guinea pigs?
Who doesn't like a good guinea pig?
Yeah, gotta love those. If you're a fellow guinea pig theorist like we are,
Right, yeah.
Like what does that even mean exactly? But,
what does it mean? I still don't have any answers for you. Yeah, it's fine.
No answers.
Yeah.
But this is at least something that happened.
This actually happened. Yeah.
So there is closure on this podcast, on this one.
On this one. Yeah. This one. This one right here, the books are closed on this one. The guy did it, got caught, and he's no around. So
there you go.
But hey guys,
there you go.
Thank you very much
Happy
for joining us on this episode of the App House. Please.
Yep.
Like, comment, and subscribe. Do all that good stuff. If you stuck around, the guinea pigs appreciate it. And you'll be able to hear the outro music if we play it.
What? We will. Not on this one, but I'll put it in. I'll put it in after we're done. Yep, because my system just we had a short and like what was it? Like my shit just I had to reboot. So, and I don't know where it is. So, usually I have it queued up. Well, hold on. Stand by. Since we're really good at hitting every branch on the way down. So, hold on. Let me see.
Right, yeah.
Let me see if I have it. Stand by. I
Do not. It is
Ah.
long. So I will put it
So,
in. So enjoy
next-
the music.
Yeah. Yeah. Could you hear it? Yeah.
Yeah, that was amazing.
Yeah, it's awesome.
Real.
Good job, guys.
Thanks.
Our tech team is top notch.
What? Oh man.
Anyway, all right, Daniel, thanks again for joining us.
Always.
Stay tuned for more content from the Ad Files, and please like and subscribe. Thank you. Until next time, everybody. Peace.
In a world of shadows and hidden truths, we search for answers, we chase the clues.